BTS's Jungkook was seen arriving at Incheon International Airport, sparking immediate interest from fans, media, and fashion observers alike. Wearing a simple yet striking Calvin Klein cap, Jungkook's appearance quickly circulated across online platforms. Though BTS members making public appearances often attract attention, this particular sighting has stirred curiosity, especially because of the ongoing collaboration between Jungkook and the American fashion brand Calvin Klein. Jungkook's decision to wear Calvin Klein was not just casual. As the global ambassador for the brand, his choice of attire continues to fuel strategic visibility for Calvin Klein in Asia and globally. Since joining hands with the brand, Jungkook has been the face of several major campaigns, including minimalist fashion releases and seasonal drops. This partnership has been described by insiders as one of Calvin Klein's most commercially effective collaborations in recent years. What made this airport appearance different is that it marked the first time Jungkook was seen publicly wearing Calvin Klein since completing a significant period of military service. Many fashion enthusiasts interpreted this subtle brand statement as a teaser or signal for something new. It's well known that global fashion houses often use celebrity appearances as soft promotions for upcoming events or campaigns. As of this writing, there has been no official statement from Calvin Klein or Jungkook's management at HYB regarding any new shows, campaigns, or collaborations. However, industry analysts have noted several behind-the-scenes activities hinting at new projects in development. Marketing teams from Calvin Klein's Seoul and New York divisions were recently seen attending meetings at HYB's headquarters, though the specifics of these meetings remain undisclosed. Given Jungkook's high profile and proven influence in fashion-related campaigns, it wouldn't be surprising if his airport appearance was part of a carefully timed marketing buildup. Some reports even suggest the possibility of a fashion-forward live event, either in the form of a pop-up show or an immersive Calvin Klein experience, possibly involving Jungkook as the central visual focus. Whether this turns into an official runway event, a commercial ad shoot, or something more digitally interactive remains to be seen. Industry watchers believe that Jungkook may be carefully mapping out his return, possibly balancing both his music and fashion careers. In fact, Calvin Klein's past campaigns featuring Jungkook were among the most widely shared content from the brand online. Considering this, it makes perfect sense for the brand to tap into his star power once again, especially now that he's transitioning into his post-service activities. While fans may expect music news, fashion experts argue that Calvin Klein might seize the moment before any BTS group activities resume to maximize their collaboration with Jungkook in an exclusive campaign or standalone show. Calvin Klein's global calendar includes seasonal showcases that traditionally happen in New York, London, or Tokyo. If Jungkook were to be involved in one, either as a performer, model, or visual ambassador, the event would attract major attention from both K-pop and fashion industries. Past Calvin Klein ambassadors, such as Justin Bieber and Kendall Jenner, were featured in high-profile launches and shows that merged fashion with cultural storytelling. Given Jungkook's influence and appeal, a similar direction could be explored, possibly pushing Calvin Klein into hosting a hybrid event mixing fashion, music, and digital fan interaction. Another possibility could be a digital-first campaign or virtual show, targeting younger audiences across Asia and beyond. Jungkook, known for his dominance on platforms like YouTube and TikTok, would fit seamlessly into such a strategy. The concept of airport fashion has long been a staple in Korean pop culture, where celebrities' airport looks are dissected by fans and media. Jungkook has historically been recognized for turning these public moments into high-impact visual statements. From oversized jackets to luxury sneakers and now Calvin Klein accessories, his outfits often go viral. Today's choice of a Calvin Klein hat could therefore be more than a wardrobe decision. It could be a strategic teaser. Brands often use subtle visual cues to signal upcoming releases. The fact that Jungkook wore the hat openly, knowing the likelihood of photos spreading across social platforms, may indicate a deliberate soft promotion tactic. Whether Calvin Klein's next show will involve Jungkook directly is still under wraps. But one thing is certain: Every piece of visible branding, particularly in a public appearance like this, is carefully managed and rarely coincidental. The collaboration between Calvin Klein and Jungkook was never just about modeling clothes. It was a strategic alignment of global influence, youthful energy, and digital market penetration. Since their first campaign together, Calvin Klein has reported increased engagement metrics, stronger social media impressions, and higher traffic from Asia and South America, two regions where Jungkook has a massive fan base. When Jungkook officially became a Calvin Klein ambassador in early 2023, his debut campaign broke the internet. It wasn't just about style, it was about cultural power. His photos in classic CK denim, minimalist black and white styling, and effortless confidence became some of the most shared fashion visuals that year. It wasn't only ARMY that noticed. Fashion critics and analysts called it a pivotal turning point for Calvin Klein's brand repositioning in Gen Z markets. In selecting Jungkook, Calvin Klein didn't just hire a celebrity. They aligned with a figure who represents authenticity, discipline, and evolution. His transformation from teenage K-pop idol to globally respected performer matched CK's campaign themes of identity and confidence. Furthermore, his dual image, at times rugged, at times elegant, fit Calvin Klein's minimalist yet bold brand ethos. According to industry insiders, CK's internal analytics showed that Jungkook's engagement outpaced many other ambassadors within the first 3 months. His campaign boosted website visits and merchandise sell-through rates, particularly for items he personally wore or endorsed. One example was the denim jacket he wore in a spring campaign, which sold out in multiple regions within hours. Jungkook wasn't just modeling. He was moving product. After the first successful campaign, Calvin Klein began involving Jungkook in more creative discussions. Reports from Korean and American fashion press in late 2023 mentioned that Jungkook had input in the selection of photo shoot themes, music for promotional videos, and even color palettes for limited edition drops. This signaled a shift from him being merely a model to becoming a co-creative influence in the brand. Fashion industry experts compared Jungkook's trajectory in Calvin Klein with Rihanna's influence at Puma or Pharrell Williams' role at Louis Vuitton. While those partnerships are more deeply rooted in design, Jungkook's brand value to Calvin Klein is undeniably cultural. He brings a combination of musical artistry, fashion sensibility, and digital charisma that brands find almost impossible to manufacture organically. It's also worth noting that Jungkook's fashion influence doesn't rely on controversy or headline stunts. His impact stems from subtlety and authenticity. Whether he's seen wearing a CK t-shirt while live streaming or spotted in branded accessories at an airport, his influence converts immediately into conversation, shares, and purchases. The latest appearance at Incheon Airport, as discussed, may seem understated, just a hat and casual clothing. But in the world of fashion marketing, such appearances are gold. For Calvin Klein, a single image of Jungkook wearing their logo in a public setting acts as both a soft advertisement and a market test. Airport sightings like this serve a specific function. Unlike official campaigns, they offer an unfiltered view of the celebrity's fashion choices. When someone like Jungkook appears in Calvin Klein gear at an airport without a press release or stylized shoot, it generates organic buzz. In many ways, these candid moments are more effective than traditional advertisements, especially with digitally native audiences. According to data from online analytics firms, Jungkook's airport photos wearing Calvin Klein in 2023 and 2024 led to real-time spikes in brand searches in Korea, Japan, Thailand, and the US. The power of such simple visibility is difficult to overstate. When Jungkook showed up at Incheon wearing a new CK cap, fashion blogs and brand trackers took notice immediately. Within hours, discussions popped up on X, formerly Twitter, Weverse, and TikTok speculating on whether this was a teaser for a new drop or campaign. At this stage, speculation is natural. While no official confirmation has been made, industry watchers are already exploring a few plausible scenarios. A Calvin Klein capsule collection involving Jungkook rumors have swirled for months that CK might allow Jungkook to co-create a capsule line, perhaps limited edition denim, outerwear, or even accessories. If this is in development, his public appearances in Calvin Klein gear could be early indicators of what's coming to the fashion film or digital runway experience. Calvin Klein has been experimenting with non-traditional runway formats. With Jungkook's global appeal and HYB's production power, a short fashion film or interactive online show could be launched. This would align with the brand's digital-first strategy, while also capitalizing on Jungkook's ability to drive online engagement. A live Calvin Klein showcase featuring Jungkook. Another possibility is a live fashion show event. While CK doesn't frequently hold massive live events like Dior or Chanel, they may make an exception for a special collection. Hosting such a showcase in Seoul or New York with Jungkook present would attract global media and fashion influencers. A global Calvin Klein x Jungkook campaign for fall/winter 2025. The timing of his airport appearance, just ahead of Q3, suggests that a major campaign rollout could be timed for the fall fashion season. If so, we may see teaser trailers, photo shoots, and promotional appearances within the next 2 months. Interestingly, none of this relies on Billboard rankings, chart-topping songs, or traditional celebrity PR. Jungkook's influence in fashion is becoming a parallel empire, independent of his musical accolades. His work with Calvin Klein proves that crossover success isn't just about fame, it's about trust, relevance, and real-world impact. In fashion, visibility is everything. But reputation is what sustains long-term brand power. And Jungkook, with his understated charisma and global following, has become one of Calvin Klein's most valuable public faces, not because he chases attention, but because attention naturally follows him. Over the past decade, South Korea has evolved into one of the most influential fashion markets globally. Seoul Fashion Week has gained traction. Korean celebrities are now staples at Paris and Milan Fashion Weeks, and brands no longer view Asian ambassadors as secondary. They're the main draw. Jungkook's affiliation with Calvin Klein is part of this evolution. His inclusion in a global campaign was not tokenistic, it was strategic. Fashion insiders have long noted that Jungkook has the unique appeal to influence both Eastern and Western fashion markets simultaneously. He trends in the United States and Europe with the same intensity he does in Indonesia, Thailand, Japan, and the UAE, with a global fashion calendar structured around 2 major seasons, spring, summer, and fall, winter. It's natural to speculate whether Jungkook will be positioned as a centerpiece of an upcoming collection reveal. Whether through a runway, a campaign film, or an experiential showcase, the timing appears to be aligning. Jungkook has not yet appeared in person at any of the Big Four fashion weeks, Paris, Milan, London, or New York, as a featured Calvin Klein ambassador. However, his growing presence in fashion-related media makes his debut at such an event feel inevitable. Industry analysts predict that if Calvin Klein plans a major statement this year, it could take place during New York Fashion Week. Calvin Klein is historically rooted in American fashion, and using one of its most global icons, Jungkook, on home soil would amplify international coverage. A physical runway appearance, even for a single look, would break the internet. However, Calvin Klein may choose a hybrid approach, blending digital and live presence. This is especially likely given Jungkook's military service timeline and scheduling flexibility. It would also allow the brand to tailor content to international audiences without relying entirely on location-based attendance. Beyond traditional runways, many fashion houses are now embracing digital-first platforms. In recent years, brands like Gucci and Burberry have utilized immersive virtual shows, fashion films, and AI-integrated marketing tools to engage global fans. Calvin Klein could easily replicate this model by centering a digital show or campaign around Jungkook. Imagine a pre-recorded mini-documentary or short film-style fashion presentation featuring Jungkook modeling new season pieces in cinematic settings, Seoul's rooftops, New York subways, or minimalist Calvin Klein-themed rooms. These visual experiences offer high engagement rates and provide flexibility in timing, language, and accessibility. In this scenario, Jungkook becomes both the face and the story of the campaign. His narrative, from K-pop idol to global fashion ambassador, serves as the emotional and visual arc, without needing to lean on interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, or overt branding. From a business standpoint, Calvin Klein's collaboration with Jungkook is one of the most strategically sound ambassador relationships in recent years. While many Western brands have faced criticism for cultural insensitivity or tokenism in Asian markets, Calvin Klein's steady, consistent promotion of Jungkook has been respectful and well executed. Instead of overly glamorizing his persona, campaigns have highlighted his quiet confidence, fitness, and personal style, traits that resonate with both fashion-forward youth and working professionals. This subtle, balanced messaging allows Calvin Klein to maintain its minimalist identity while adapting to K-pop's global reach. It's important to note that many fashion houses now invest heavily in research before choosing ambassadors. They analyze digital data, sentiment analysis, shopping behavior, and even music consumption patterns. Jungkook's consistently high engagement, favorable public image, and fashion-forward audience made him a low-risk, high-reward partner. Another emerging theory is that Calvin Klein may launch a global experience tour with Jungkook as its central ambassador. These pop-up events, blending fashion exhibitions, limited product drops, and interactive installations, have been used by brands like Dior and Louis Vuitton to energize local markets without committing to a single location for a runway. Seoul, Tokyo, Los Angeles, and Paris are the likely candidates for such experiences. The concept would involve Calvin Klein unveiling exclusive items, allowing fans to explore the creative themes of upcoming collections, and offering digital meet and greet or photo moments involving Jungkook. Such events cater to Gen Z's desire for immersive experiences over passive consumption. Jungkook's involvement would guarantee long lines, wide coverage, and exceptional social media sharing. Looking back at the airport moment that reignited this conversation, it's clear that Calvin Klein and Jungkook are possibly setting the stage for something much larger than a product drop or a standard campaign. Fashion, in this era, is storytelling, and every choice is a message, from the choice of headwear to timing of public visibility. All elements suggest a build-up to a significant reveal. Calvin Klein has remained quiet, but that silence may be intentional. In fashion, controlled silence can be more effective than constant noise. Brands like Calvin Klein often use 3 stages of rollout: visual teaser, public appearance, editorial leak or media buzz, articles speculating a show or project, official campaign launch, with accompanying show, film, or activation event. If Jungkook's Incheon airport moment was the teaser, then the industry is now sitting at stage 2, waiting for confirmation.